Am I the a-hole for ruining my sister-in-law's honeymoon by exposing her racism? My female 27 sister-in-law, female 30, got married last weekend. She's my long-term boyfriend's male 32 sister. They're white and I'm Middle Eastern, and a dark one with raven black hair. She was looking for a photographer that didn't bankrupt her, so I suggested a friend of mine who's new in the business and charged less than half because these things cost over 5,000 pounds these days. She was excited and I set a group chat with her and my photographer friend. We talked a little and later they met and they started messaging directly to each other. The wedding was amazing and everything went smoothly. I was one of the guests and she seemed happy. The next day they went off to their honeymoon. I don't know if it was by mistake, but instead of texting the photographer directly like she's done for the past few months, she texted him to our old iMessage chat. She thanked him but had a favor to ask him and wondered whether he could retouch some asymmetry in the flowers archway, but also if he could take me off some photos because I'm too dark and ruin the color palette. Not all pictures, just the one she's in. Oh no, can't ruin the Instagram aesthetic. No! White people be white people in, you know? That's I texted back, "Are you kidding me?" She didn't answer. I took a screenshot and posted it on my Insta story tagging her in it. All right. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that's a lot. She called my boyfriend crying her eyes out, calling me an a-hole for embarrassing her and ruining her honeymoon. Boyfriend thought it was a low blow. I was blinded with rage when I did it, but even now I'm calm. I still don't feel that I was an a-hole. But people have been contacting her apparently asking if she really wrote this. She's so beautiful and successful, so please don't blame it on jealousy or scare of being outshined. I think exposing someone like that on social media is so unbelievably petty. I'm not defending what the kind of sister-in-law said, but posting it on your Insta story and tagging someone, that's not a productive way to communicate to somebody that that's a wrong thing to do. I know for a fact the comments are gonna be like, no, dude, she deserved it. Does she deserve it? Probably, but is it the right move to actually have her learn from her mistakes? I don't think so. Nobody's gonna be like, wow, I've been publicly doxxed as a racist. I'm going to actually repent for my actions. Said no one ever. I don't think that's the move. For all we know, she is just a dumb white girl. There's a lot of them out there. I'm sure all of us can think of one dumb white girl. I have like 4 off the top of my head who I could totally see saying this, not because they're like super racist, but because they're super dumb white girls. And the way that you get across to them is you explain to them that it's not okay. You don't take a screenshot it and just like, it's not productive. As much as we'd love for it to be productive, it's not. Nuclear option, but kind of about exposing racists. So Rum Ripple, think about something bad you did and think about how much worse or how unproductive your learning phase would have been afterwards if you had been like publicly humiliated. I do think it is exposing, but it's also public humiliation, which I don't think anybody is ever gonna learn productively from. Public humiliation leads to people just becoming more bitter. That honestly might just cement more racism into her instead of an opportunity for her to be like, oh damn, like what I did was wrong. I see now why it was racist because somebody sat me down and explained it. Now she almost has this cement of like, oh, well, this dark person just wronged me and now I hate them even more. It's just not productive to the end result, which should be, in my opinion, to move on from that. I think that's what you do. If they double down, fucking go for it. If you go to them and you're like, hey, that's racist as fuck, and they're like, I don't care, you're dark as shit, fuck you. Then you're like, all right, cool. Screenshot, ding, 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 racist person. I texted back, are you kidding me? She didn't answer. So she didn't even like really give herself time. There was no indication of if she was just ignorant or if she was like downright hateful. Like, I think there's a difference and there's a different way that you should react to both of those. So let's read this update because I'm very curious. So sister-in-law is still on her honeymoon, so I haven't talked to her yet, but she's bombarding my boyfriend demanding that I apologize and make a new Instagram story with my apology. More people got involved, including my boyfriend's mother that thought I was way out of line ruining her daughter's wedding. I have also got contacted by my sister-in-law's friends. Some of them told me stories about what she's been talking about me behind my back. Yeah, she got what she deserved. The amount of her friends that weren't surprised at all with her text made it clear for me that I wasn't wrong. Ooh. Okay, so maybe it's probably not ignorance. I wish she would have included like what kinds of things the friends had said. Because like, what does that mean? My sister-in-law is self-employed with some foreign customers. That's why she's taking it so hard, because she's scared that would affect her career. I don't feel like I need to save her career should something bad happen to it. My photographer friend did what he was told. That's the only right way in my opinion. Being professional and not confuse work with his own values. He asked me if I wanted him to say something and I said no. I also asked him not to tell me what they are texting because she's his client, so he couldn't break confidentiality. He's just starting his career and will meet much worse brides. She was at least nice to him throughout their interaction. Now to my boyfriend. As I said, he thought this whole thing was uncomfortable. I told him if he wanted to be with me, he needed to discuss uncomfortable topics. He opened up and it was actually deeper than this. This has happened before. His uncle is very rich, and for his 60th birthday, he had a very big party. As a thank you, we received thank you cards with our pictures on it, professionally taken. I remember this picture because his uncle had a red carpet moment when his guests were photographed upon their arrival. Later, we went to my boyfriend's mother's to see the rest of the photos, and I wasn't in any of them. I thought it was funny how I literally evaded being caught on camera. I never mentioned this or even reflected on it, and while my boyfriend and his family were looking at the pictures and discussing the evening, it was just so normal and no one mentioned something out of the ordinary. Today, he told me I was photoshopped off the pictures. Everyone in his family knew it but me. At the time, they just thought the uncle could choose whoever he wanted to have in his pictures, and they moved on. OP, but you kept it from me. Boyfriend, yes. OP, so you must have thought it was hurtful. Boyfriend, I did. I asked my family not to tell you. And we continued going to that uncle. Celebrated some Christmases, Easters, and vacations with him. Silence. You didn't feel offended on my behalf. Silence. And now you think it's okay that your sister is doing the same. I didn't think of it that way. I know my sister. She's not a racist. If it wasn't racist, why is she feeling embarrassed now? Silence. You think what she did was all right? Of course not. Will you just stand and watch when this happens to our children? Of course not. I know my boyfriend very well. He's very kind, and I never felt like he was racist in any way. I know he's not stupid and is aware of these things, which makes it worse because it just means he doesn't care enough. I asked him why he didn't care enough, and he said he was so sorry, but he knows me to be a strong girl that never let these petty things affect her. He's right. I normally ignore 99% of racism and microaggressions I face in life, and even laugh at the ignorance. We even discussed this before, but does being strong mean that people are entitled to try to hurt me? Because I usually don't... Oh. Guys, the Beaninator said hi. The beans, the beans, the Mr. Beans. Because I usually don't let them, doesn't mean I wouldn't appreciate to feel the support of my boyfriend having my back. Don't strong women deserve being supported by their loved ones and feeling safe and loved? He couldn't answer this. I told him that I never want to see his sister in my life again, or his uncle, and probably not his mother either if she still wants me to apologize. I don't want to surround myself with people like them, and especially when I have children, and I asked him if he's willing to live like that. I asked him not to answer me now and think about it. It kind of felt like an ultimatum, and that's bad, but I didn't know how to handle the situation better. I never thought of myself as someone who's petty or makes ultimatums. This experience taught me that I'm both. I mean, at this point, we just know the sister is a shitty person. Now we know too that this racism runs in the family. I don't even think OP should have given the boyfriend an ultimatum. I think OP should have broken up with her boyfriend. You do not want to be with a human being who isn't willing to stand up for you no matter what. Not only stand up for you, but stand up for you on a situation that is like clearly in the wrong. Like there is no way you can argue this where it's like, oh no, well, if you look at it this way, it's okay because no, the family is being straight up racist and the boyfriend was just okay with it. That's never okay. If there's racism involved to your partner, you stand up for your partner and you do not want to be with somebody who isn't going to do that. There is one last little like boyfriend's response. I still think OP should break up with him, but I'm curious, what did the boyfriend say? Boyfriend's final comment. This is the rightfully very much hated boyfriend speaking. I have read both posts and all your comments on the update. I'm overwhelmed with the amount of support my girlfriend has received. Overwhelmed and ashamed that total strangers on the internet have shown my girlfriend more support and love than I ever have. The person who's supposed to be the closest to her. I have failed to support my girlfriend and be her rock, but my only excuse is that I never done it out of malice. I thought I was protecting her from being hurt. I was wrong, and I'm so sorry about that, but if there's any consolation, I did it out of love for her. No consolation on that. Not even a little bit. I'm sure there is a killer in jail right now who his reasoning for murdering his wife was, I did it out of love for her. So that is not a good excuse. There's no excuse for my passivity. There's only an explanation, and it's this. Because of my privilege, I made the wrong assessment of the incidents and deemed them, albeit hurtful, not really serious or harmful. I deemed them to be pathetic, ridiculous, and petty. I was wrong, and I will not pretend that I need to be educated on racial inequality because I should have known all of these things already. I can only promise that I will have her back and be more active and alert moving forward. I choose her any day of the week, and I will have a talk with my family and make them apologize to her. And it's her decision to forgive them or not, but I choose her. It was never really a choice to begin with. She's my future wife and the mother of my future children. I've known this for years. I am so sorry. I'm not pro give the boyfriend a second chance, but if you're gonna give someone a second chance and this is how they respond, this is probably as best as it could go. This is probably ideal, best case scenario. They're deserving of the second chance.